Welcome to PMPA's Final Cut of the Week, where we share important information you may have missed while you were making essential parts. I'm Joe Jackson.
And I'm David Wynn. This is what you need to know for the week ending September 6, 2024. According to insiders, the executive branch is expected to block the Japanese steel company Nippon Steel's takeover of U.S. Steel Corp. U.S. Steel says it will pursue all legal methods to ensure the sale goes through. Our take? While a U.S. buyer is preferable, the economics of the Japanese offer were much more attractive to stockholders. Japan is not an adversary, but the executive branch is trying to make this about national security. Our shops continue to pay the highest global prices for steel due to executive branch protectionism. Politics have consequences.
New orders for manufactured durable goods in July were up 5 of the last 6 months and 9.8%. Down from the previously published 9.9% increase. This followed a 6.9% June decrease. Transportation equipment, up 2 of the last 3 months, drove the increase at 34.7%. Shipments of manufactured durable goods in July were up 5 of the last 6 months and increased 1.1% and unchanged from the previously published increase. This followed a 1.2% June increase. Transportation equipment, also up 5 of the last 6 months, drove the increase at 3.5%. Inventories of manufactured durable goods in July, up 3 of the last 4 months, increased 0.1%. This most recent monthly full report on manufacturer shipments, inventories, and orders was positive, exactly what PMPA's own business trends report for July reported. The data, as opposed to the headlines, is indicating steady cadence for U.S. manufacturing.
U.S. job openings dropped 7.67 million in July, which is the lowest since January 2021. Interestingly, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics characterized the 3.5-year low as little changed. The job openings were down 1.1 million over the year, and change in job openings available in manufacturing were not large enough to mention in the official release. Healthcare and social assistance, state, local, government and transportation, warehousing, and utilities led the decliners. Important to note, the June job opening numbers were revised down by a further 274,000 to 7.9 million. The job openings per available worker is now about half where it had been after we came out of the COVID-19 displacement. This softening of demand for workers should cue the data-dependent Fed to begin lowering interest rates.
World steel production was down 4.7% in July when compared to a year earlier. Chinese production dropped 9%, dragging the index down. Rest of the world production increased 0.9%. The Chinese dominance in the steel market is starting to show cracks. Being by far the world's largest steel producer, China tends to move the index. They produced more than the other 9 countries of the top 10 producers.
A new lightweight handheld 3D scanner has been introduced that utilizes carbon fiber scales to reach accuracies of 0.02 millimeter by 0.05 millimeter. 3D technology is growing by leaps and bounds. A device that is slightly larger than a phone being able to reach precision accuracies is going to take quality to a new level. It will be exciting to see what development 3D scanning and AI combined bring to market in the next few years.
On this week's Speaking of Precision podcast, Carly Kissel-Miller, Miles Free, and David Wynn are joined by Adria Bagshaw of WH Bagshaw to discuss Recovery Month. Why WH Bagshaw decided to get into being a recovery-friendly business and why it is important. This podcast and our Speaking of Suppliers podcast can be found on all major podcast platforms or on PMPA.org.
And now it's time for our weekly tip. Macros are an essential part of high production CNC programming because they allow for blocks of code to be simplified. They also allow programs to easily be used on families of parts. Macros can even make code more accurate and precise. For more information on FANUC macro programming basics, go to PMPA.org's Knowledge Centers or click on Final Cut of the Week.
And that's our take on what you need to know for the week ending September 6, 2024. For additional information and links about any of the topics discussed today, go to PMPA.org and click on Final Cut of the Week.
Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next Friday.
transportation equipment were up 6 of the last. I can't let this snowball, because it snowballs quick.
Hi, I'm David Wynn.